Hello, friends. It is StatATL. It is the 6th of January. Thank you for hopping in and joining us today. Happy New Year to those of you. Hope everyone had a great holiday season. I got a little special treat for you today. Have a special guest joining us. You probably know him better as Eaglezzz with a whole bunch of Z's. I've got James Brimacombe. James, I hope I said the name right this time.
Yeah.
Joining us today. How's it going out in Salt Lake area today?
Yeah, no, it's good. I'm just waiting for some cold weather here. My boys built a backdoor ice rink, so they're just filling the water in, and I'm seeing my water bill go way up, but we don't have the cold temperatures yet for it to freeze for them.
Yeah, and something we could talk about offline sometime is someone who grew up in New York, and brother and I played travel hockey our whole lives. It's different living in Atlanta. I mean, the high tomorrow is I think 71. So
Yeah. Nice.
not January weather here, but I think one of the things we wanted to kind of do today was just talk some playoff best ball. I know it's something that is passionate both you and I. So why don't you give a little intro to yourself to some of our listeners or viewers here on YouTube of where they can find you, things that you enjoy or anything you think is pertinent here.
Yeah, thanks. No, I've been a big fan of best ball when it first started, and I first caught my eye back in the MFL 10 days. Went on to like the play draft. I really enjoyed that, and then Underdog, fell in love with it. But I've expanded more. Like I enjoy drafters a lot. I enjoy DraftKings. Like this first year, I really enjoyed playing over there. So I like all the platforms. The regular season best ball is tough with all those pods and everything. So yeah, everyone's just gonna complain and yeah, I haven't hit that huge payday yet, but I've definitely had some success in the regular season. I've had a few wins in the playoff best ball I've been playing since that they started as well, and kind of adjusting strategies. I've won a few mittens on Underdog. I think I won the Drafters small dollar one a few years ago and things like that. So, so I enjoy the strategy and everything and the game theory, and like it's just chaos, and it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, man, it's awesome to have you having you join, and I know we've kind of interacted through Twitter. As an old person, it's still Twitter to me, but
Yeah.
through X, and I've enjoyed our banter back and forth over the years, and definitely been in a bunch of drafts with you over the years, and love the piece of content you put out today. So for those of you who don't follow James on Twitter, I think your handle is just your name, right? At James Brimacombe.
Yeah, correct.
Awesome. You had this. I know in the past years you've also done it as well, but you put out that best ball cheat sheet today or yesterday. Really, really awesome kind of piece of info to just kind of have along as you're drafting. I'm not a fan of the overlays or what be it with the technology. I'm happy to just kind of use my big brain to draft, but I think that your cheat sheet is really awesome. So I think for those people who are listening in, we've got 91 folks live with us right now. If you don't follow James on Twitter, he's an awesome follow. Definitely navigate over and give him a follow.
Oh no, thanks. Yeah, I was actually surprised. So somebody reached out and was like, posted last year's version of that, and it's like, hey, can you post this? Do you have this year's? And then I kind of threw it together in like 10 minutes and threw it up there, and I think I don't know, it has like 600 likes or something. I was like, oh, I guess people want that. So
it has 600 likes because it is like really awesome to draft along with. And
yeah.
Speaking of a draft, what I was thinking is maybe we would just kind of fire up a draft, kind of talk through some strategy, and your thoughts along the way.
Yep.
So I'll fire up a draft room here. I'm actually gonna pull up my very first Mitten 3. I think just released this afternoon. And so, I think that one of the exciting things about this contest is it's operating as a snapshot contest. So, everybody's got the same info, a little bit different. A little bit different than. Let me just share a screen here. How does that look for folks? I think we've got full room there, so able to kind of show a draft board and the room. I actually drew the 101. Really nice of us today. When you're 101, are you exclusively Puka Nacua, or you mix it up at all?
When I had thought there was a shot like they might be a different kind of seed, like a couple weeks ago, I was more like Josh Allen was my number one. But yeah, Puka, I feel like is the clear number one, especially getting Carolina and Adams kind of dinged up. And now I feel like you can get the 3 of the top pieces pretty easy. Like if you get Puka, and then I seem to get Stafford, and I seem to get Kyren or Adams. So it's actually really nice. So you're almost, they almost feel like the team you're guaranteed to almost 2 games with the 10-point spread out there right now. So, and I think Puka he's gonna 20 points feels like his floor, So I think it's a auto 101.
Yeah, you and I are aligned there. I do really smile when I'm the 2-hole and he falls to me now. I do think it's an automatic click, and I actually did. I don't know that I probably do maybe one more in the biggest or bigger Mitten, whatever it is on Underdog. And actually, I drafted earlier today. There's you could find the video. I actually recorded it of me doing that draft on my YouTube channel. It's like a 15-minute video where I just drafted through, kind of talked through my thought process, talked through all the different teams that were in, the 6 different or 5 other teams in the draft, and kind of what I thought of their teams as they're drafting along, who I thought they should be taking at different spots, and actually got a Puka Nacua, Devontae Adams, Stafford start. Had the option of actually taking Kyren too.
Yeah.
And I honestly postulated going Nacua, Adams, Kyren, and trying to push Stafford. But I figured high dollar might be the only one I do. So probably be just as happy with Corum, which is Corum came back to me, and that I felt like I was able to build a pretty strong team. So I think here we've obviously Adams and Kyren go. I think this is an auto Stafford here for me.
Yeah, I saw that guy at the 5 and the 2.2 to grab him, and yeah, so I think Corum's still fine, and then you can kind of hit the AFC if you want, or kind of like I kind of like Houston, the Texans, so I wouldn't mind. Or you can go back to Patriots or something like that too. So those are the way I play. Also, Denver's always there too. It's like LA and Denver seem to go good together as well. Like you can grab Sutton and Harvey there at that turn.
Yeah, I feel like if I'm gonna consider Denver pieces, I generally will take, if like ETN is there on a start like this where it's just Nacua and Stafford. I feel like I'm much more inclined to go either ETN or Travion there, just because I feel like if it's Houston, it's more than likely going to be Houston-Denver in the first round. I mean, obviously Buffalo could beat Jacksonville, and then you'd get the Buffalo-Denver game. So yeah, I mean, I feel like I try to mix that up, but generally I feel like I try to avoid Houston, like taking Nico Collins if I'm going to go Denver at that 4 or 5 turn. Obviously, try to let the room fall to me, but yeah, I do really like taking Houston here. I feel like it gives you the option of going Jacksonville later, going, obviously you could go Denver later. You could even go New England here, and kind of gives you that spot where you could get Houston and New England going to the AFC Championship game and advancing your pieces, even further along. So,
no.
Well, let's see. Go ahead, man.
Well, what teams are you mainly building out? Like, what's your highest exposures on teams like right now?
My highest exposures are they're really focused three ways. My highest exposure is New England.
Okay.
And then it's the Rams. And I feel like I've been taking a lot of JSN and just kind of building out from there.
I mean, yeah. If you want to start Corum, if you want, or if you want to go Ramondre, like you said, if you want to go to the New England side, because I think, yeah, but it's almost you almost want that Rams piece in my opinion, because the way I draft the playoff best ball is like I get like his ADP is lower and he's the second running back on the team or whatever you want to say. But if you don't have that third piece, and I know there's Higbee out there and there's, you can go the tight end direction, but I don't know. I think you need to build that core, and it starts with the quarterback and the running back. So you need those two pieces when you're starting like a Super Bowl core.
Yeah, no, I think you and I are completely aligned on that. I think one of the things that's hard for people to grasp is that or to get comfortable with is that you really have to get comfortable drafting in these things, being uncomfortable. Like the tournaments, all of the tournaments, even the one we're drafting here, are so top heavy that all the money is in the Super Bowl. So while the first round, even in the Mitten, it's a little bit of a different animal because it's 2 of 6 in the first round and then 1 of 10 advance. If we're talking Gauntlet, if we're talking DK Millie, where it's just 1 of 6 advancing out of the first round, you really have to be okay with having a low advance rate. Just my opinion. You've got to be okay with having a low advance rate out of the first round, but the teams that do advance are strong, well-built teams because if we're just looking to try to min cash a bunch of rosters, like you're just going to be a losing player. Like all the money is at the finals. You've got to try to get teams to the finals that are live to actually do something when they're there. So I completely agree with you about building out teams and being okay with feeling like it's a little thinner to try to get out of round one. But that's just
I actually I enjoy the Mitten, the 2 out of 6, way more than the Gauntlet, just because I can really build teams a lot better. I feel like I don't have to worry about like one-offs quite as much. I can be super focused on how I build out that team. So I really prefer this strategy because even when I take Puka, I'll just star all the Rams. I'll take the top 6 Rams and star them all. And I'd be fine if I got all 6 of them in a row. Like I don't care about, I missed out on Nico Collins round 3. It's like I would be fine getting Corum there, like because I know I can. There's a lot of ways to build out. So
yeah,
I'd go Woody Marks here.
You're a Woody Marks guy, okay?
Yeah, I like the 2 piece of Houston. So you already got the Rams, Houston, and now you can go Booty or go Kayshawn here too. Then you got both. So you already have 2 Super Bowls now. If you want to do one-offs and stuff, but I don't think you have to do that in the Mitten necessarily. But I know you got Corum here and Stevenson Marks, maybe not the strongest running back room. But still guys that are all going to play week 1, all going to give you fantasy points. But I don't know. You got Nico and Puka receivers. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, I think for me I like getting 2 Houston pieces there on a build like this. Like for me, I'm okay with waiting and taking like Schultz, honestly, in the 9th or 10th round. I don't, it's a personal preference. Like I don't see Woody Marks as offering a ton. In any Super Bowl on this build, he's going to be, in a Rams build. I don't see him as offering much more upside than Blake Corum. To be candid, he's not a guy I take a ton of. But again, like this is a Mitten. To me, it's about kind of getting some different exposures, like not building, 200, 300, 500 teams that are all built the same way. Like you want some different combinations of teams that you do like. So happy to. To me, I was actually considering, and honestly, I don't know that he would come all the way back 4 or 5 more picks, but I was considering like DeAndre Swift as more of an advancement piece, but also like I could add a Burden, a Loveland in the 8th, 9th round, give me another potential Super Bowl. If I decided to add like CJ Stroud or something like that onto a build like this, just as even if it's just more of an advancement piece as a running back. But I think we're good here. Go ahead, Jim.
Another thing I really like about the mitten is I'm pretty one QB only on these mittens, because I feel like you have 10 roster spots, only taking one QB. I just feel, I guess if you're worried more about round 2 and 3, but even like you're betting on Stafford, like what are you going to get? 20 points in round 2, hopefully. Like that all QBs kind of around the same. Like I don't know.
So I'm going to take a Rams tight end here. You prefer Parkinson or Higbee?
I'm probably I think Higbee is the guy right now, but Parkinson definitely still too. So I'm fine either way.
Are you ever taking both tight ends in a build like this?
Oh yeah, I'll take both of these guys.
I think that we'll get Parkinson back. Anything else you want me to consider at this spot?
I like Jaden Reed a lot. I like Green Bay. Like, I know you said the Chicago pieces. If you like Swift, that's fine. But I'm more Green Bay. Like, I feel like Green Bay is gonna.
All right, I'm gonna take Parkinson. Yeah, I'm gonna take Parkinson here. I feel like the Jaden Reed, Romeo Dobbs. Like, I feel like reasonable chance that one of them is available to me at the last pick.
I'm pretty standard also 1-3-6 builds in these, and that's why I prefer one QB. And I feel like I think running backs are way more valuable than people think in playoff basketball. Like I think they're almost as valuable as the quarterback, which is kind of crazy. I know you need the quarterback. If you don't have the quarterback, you're not going to win. Usually running back, there's 2 options, but I don't know. They're close 1B to me, the running back.
Yeah, I think you and I are aligned. I try to leave most drafts with 3 running backs. So if I feel like if I'm going to build some teams with JSN, who's one of my highest exposures, like some of those teams are Sam Darnold teams. And so obviously if I'm taking Sam Darnold, I'm taking a second quarterback on a build like that. But in general, I think you and I are both aligned of preferring one quarterback builds. So yeah, kind of as expected, we're going to be able to take Reed or Dobbs here. I think people just aren't as high on the as the Packers.
I don't understand why people aren't more on the Packers. Like I don't know. I really like the Packers a lot. But also there's a lot of times I'll take one Packer and one Bear. And I know I guarantee a guy into the second round. And sometimes I'll take 2 Packers and 2 Bears. And I know people don't like to play that way, but that's mainly in the gauntlet, like the one advance. It kind of like if that game blows out, like you're pretty set. If you guess the AFC right, you already have like 5 or 6 pieces over there. And then if you're doing 2 and 2 on that Bears Green Bay game, you're getting 2 guaranteed next round. So you have like 7 or 8 players in the next round. So I'm always trying to look one round ahead. But yeah, mitten, you can basically build however you want in these mittens. I don't think it really matters.
Yeah. We had a couple of folks stopping by. Bayou says, hi, go collect with some spaceship emojis. Michael B here. Michael, thank you for stopping by. Jerry says, hi. Jerry, thank you or Matt, thanks for stopping by. Smash the like button on both channels. Appreciate you. Go Collect says, just finishing up with the mastermind table. Appreciate you. Go Collect's got a question for us. Do you guys think there is an advantage to draft both 1 seeds there since they are falling in the mitten with the 2 of 6 and 1 of 10, 1 of 10 format, and being harder to get through the field the further we go in? James, I'm going to let you take first shot at that. I certainly have an opinion on it.
Yeah, that's so right now, like I just feel like the 1 seeds really are not really 1 seeds. And I get like, yeah, you're guaranteed to have them in the second round. And I play regular season similar to this. Like I do not like to take zeros. That's just kind of how I play best ball. But also at the same time, yes, the mitten. If you want to take JSN, that's fine. I think he's more of a second round pick. I wouldn't take him in the first round. But say you get like Josh Allen and then you want to grab JSN the second round if he falls, I think that's viable. there's not a lot of Seattle pieces that I like. Like, I don't want Darnold. Like, I don't think that he's going to set me apart, and that means I have to take 2 QBs as well. So I don't really like that. And Denver's kind of the same, on the same side. Like, I don't like, I like going with a massive stack on the NFC side. Maybe if I go get all the Eagles, like all 5 Eagles, and I want to take like 2 Denver pieces, then I'm fine doing that. But I actually play pretty safe in the way I play in these games. The reason I do that is I draft like 5 to 7 of these at a time. Like, I'm not drafting one at a time. Like, I watch because you have the ADP here, and I couldn't draft like that because they're just going so fast. So like, if I get the 101, I'm clicking 6 Rams. Like, I'm ready to go down the board. If I get Josh Allen to fall to me at like 4 or 5, and I'm just highlighting all the Bills, and then if I have time, like, I can see who's the best on the board and kind of put them in there. So it's hard for me to do that with the Broncos and with the Seahawks, and I just don't think they're the best teams. Like, I'm betting more on the QBs. Like, I prefer like a Josh Allen. I prefer Drake May. Like, I want to bet on those guys. I want to bet on Jalen Hurts on the NFC side. Like, I don't know. I really like Jordan Love as well, like and Stafford. But yeah, I don't know if that makes sense, but that's kind of how I'm approaching it. And but at the same time, I was thinking today, I probably need more Seahawks builds. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I think for me, I like the Seahawks, but I generally like them with only 2 on a build. And I feel like a majority of my Seahawks builds are kind of JSN. Generally, when he falls a little bit later to the 4, 5, 6 on these underdog drafts, where I feel like I'm getting a strong AFC piece with him. A Josh Allen JSN start or a Drake May JSN start. I like that because I feel like to me, like the Rams with Corum and Kyron Williams, it's kind of the same equivalent for me personally with like Kenneth Walker and Charbonnet. And Charbonnet went a lot earlier in this draft than he normally does. To me, like, there's not a big enough difference where Walker typically goes in the 4th round, where Charbonnet typically goes in like the 7th or 8th round. Like, to me, if I'm building Seattle, like, I'm the opportunity cost of like giving up, 1st round players, like, I have a hard time going JSN, Kenneth Walker in the 1st and the 4th. Like, that just feels like that team is thin and really hard for it to advance. Whereas I don't mind taking JSN if I'm going to wait and take Charbonnet or, Kenneth Barner or something like late in like the 10th round. And those are my 2 Seahawks.
Right.
But yeah, in general, like, I am not really building any double buys with Seattle and Denver. Like, those feel super hard to advance. And even if you do advance those teams, it's not like it's the Chiefs of 3 years ago, or, you know what I mean? Or Tom Brady led Patriots. Like, to me, they're just not a tier above the other teams. So like, I feel like you're paying a penalty of not getting them for a round. And like, they really don't offer like this amazing ceiling if you get those teams through. So I'm definitely not building any 2 double buys. And I feel like if I'm building with Denver or if I'm building with Seattle, like, I'm max 3 Denver, max 2 Seattle for me.
Yeah, no, I think that's fair. I think that's kind of where I am when I mix them in. It's like, I don't mind in the mitten format. Maybe go 3 or 4, maybe push it at 4 if you want. If you have really good one-offs there, I think you could go up to 4. In the gauntlet, I'm kind of more like 2. Give me Charbonnet and give me JSN, and then fill in the rest with the AFC side. That's kind of how I'd approach it. But.
Yep, we're aligned there. I feel like I'm willing to take 3 Denver pieces in a contest, and certainly not often, but in a contest like the Gauntlet, because I think a lot of people have similar hesitation that we have, and you generally see them fall. Like, a lot of times you can get Denver pieces, Harvey, Sutton in the 4th, 5th rounds. And I don't mind if I've got a nice strong start of, maybe we get that Puka, Kyron, Stafford start where, I don't mind taking Sutton, Harvey, in the 4th, 5th round, and then kind of filling it out with some, maybe more one-offs or a separate AFC team, to help kind of advance that, because I just don't feel like you're going to have a lot of strong Denver builds. So.
No, so I like the Patriots and I like the Bills more than Denver, and I just don't see Denver's path easy, and I don't know. But also I think the Chargers are also decent against New England, so it's just wide open all around.
I write an article every year about just kind of my kind of take on the strategy, kind of year specific, year dependent. And kind of shouted out like last year, hey, on the very first article I wrote back in like November, before we even had like all the seeds, and this is in 2024, like, hey, I think it's only like these 5 teams that could make a run at the Super Bowl. So like you should be trying to get one of these 5 quarterbacks in the first 3 rounds. Like
right.
If you don't have one of them, I don't think that you're live. Whereas this year, I don't think that that's the case at all. Even if you're looking at guys later round, like, I don't know, like, I feel like Chicago is, Caleb, again, in this draft went a little bit earlier. Like Caleb Williams sometimes goes in the 7th, 8th, 9th. I think I've taken Caleb Williams in the 10th round in the last couple
I think he goes undrafted sometimes too.
Right. I think Chicago has again, I'm not super high on Chicago, but I think that they're certainly viable. I think the 49ers are viable for the Super Bowl, and Purdy here in the 7th. Like, again, every draft is independent, but like, I don't know that you need to be rushing to take a quarterback in the first 2 rounds, 3 rounds, like you had to last year. I think it's wide open, and you could be a little bit more creative with your builds.
Yeah.
Let's fire up one more. We'll take one more question here while I do that. Drap says opportunity cost is so low after round 8. I think breaking ties towards a second quarterback makes a ton of sense, assuming you don't need more skill position players for firepower. I think you and I kind of, I don't want to say are the opposite of that. I do it sometimes, but it's certainly not my preference. I am generally take one, and wow, these rooms fill so quickly.
I was gonna say I can jump in one too. We could do 2 together, like on the same one. I don't know if that's.
Yeah, let's try that. If you're game to do a third, if you're game to be on with us for another 30 minutes, I would say let's the next one. Let's both try to hop in the same draft together.
Yeah, so when I get the 6 here, it's usually I'm taking Drake May. I'm doing New England. That's who I usually get to fall.
Mm-hmm.
I'm bypassing McCaffrey. I think McCaffrey's one of the worst picks right now, especially at 2.3. Like, I feel like it's a perfect time to draft right now because people are taking him. I'd rather take Barkley over him. I'd rather take Cook over him. I'd rather take Kyron over him. Like, I'd rather all those guys. Like, even Henderson, New England. Like, I don't know. I think the Eagles. I don't know. Obviously, I like the Eagles. But I just watching the San Fran this past week, it just felt like it didn't look good for them.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree. I think if I'm taking CMC, I want to be able to build out a strong San Francisco build.
Yeah.
And if I'm not able to get, like, there's so many of that available. Maybe not in the, even still in the mitten 3, like. With certainly the contests that have been open for, your gauntlets, your DK Millies that have been open for a month, like, there are teams that got CMC in the 3rd, 4th round, and built out these power Seattle or San Francisco builds. Like, it's hard for me to want to take him in at the 2nd overall pick with how tough of a path he's going to have to make it back to the Super Bowl in my eyes.
Yeah. So I drafted so many of these, I kind of know how the board's going to fall. So that's why I was saying New England. Like, I think Drake May is like the play, but obviously you don't have to go with. And I would just queue up all the Patriots and take like 4 or 5 of them, and then And then if there's some AFC guys along the way that fall at ADP, then I take them right behind, or maybe before the New England guys. But I think it's the path you want to go. Just like you're getting them round one. It's basically you're taking Josh Allen light here, in my opinion. So that's why I really like May a lot. If I'm not getting Josh Allen in the first round, I'm taking Drake May. Like if I'm at the turn, I feel like I don't know. My rankings have Puka definitely number one, then Josh Allen. I like Barkley because then you can build out the Eagles pretty easy. You can get all the pieces. But then it's kind of Drake May at that 4 spot. If you want to take JSN, I guess, but I'd rather take him in the second round. McCaffrey, though, is definitely a second round pick for me. James Cook, I take a ton of Josh Allen, so I have so many Josh Allen, James Cook teams. I know people say it's hard to get, but
I don't think it's hard to get.
Yeah, it's not hard to get. I swear I probably have 150 of those teams. Like I've drafted about 900 teams, and I have those 2 paired together. I never take James Allen usually by himself either. It's usually always Josh Allen. So
yeah, because of how many teams that I have with Allen and Cook together, and how often I know that there was a period that it was hard to get. There was a. And to me, that's one of the advantages to drafting in different windows. I think you and I have both been drafting these playoff contests for 4 or 5 plus weeks, maybe at this point. To me, it's hard for me to want to click James Cook if I'm not putting him with Allen. Right. Because I just know there's so many of those Allen Cook teams. I don't want to be building teams that are just behind the 8 ball. And if they get to if they get to the finals, there's going to be, if Buffalo gets to the finals, there's going to be a whole bunch of Allen Cook together rosters. Like I don't want to come to that. I don't want to come to that fight with only one of the 2 of them.
Yeah, I don't really know who the best pairing with Cook would be outside Allen. Maybe JSN, but then you got to come back with Darnold. So
yeah, I have seen. I don't have as many drafts as you, but I have a decent number of drafts with Barkley and Cook, and then built out with Hurts.
Yeah,
where I don't get full Eagles. Generally, you can't get all the Eagles there, but you get enough Eagles where I feel like that's a strong enough build.
No. So here's another strategy. Let's see what happens this pick, but if they don't take a Patriots here, if they take a Patriots, that's fine. I just want to make sense for their build, but yeah, it doesn't make sense. I don't know why I took.
What were you thinking? I'm curious.
So I think Ramondre. So I really like Henderson and Ramondre together, and and don't take another running back. So you're basically like, I have all the Patriots quarterbacks, I have all the Patriots running backs, and now I can build out 7 receivers. So that's people don't like to do that. I like to
give it a try.
I like to do it with Kyron as well and Corum together.
I do that quite a bit.
I feel. Well, do you take a 3rd running back? That's what I'm saying.
If I take a 3rd running back, it's somebody like Kyle Monangai or Basal Tootin in the 10th round.
Yeah, so I'd take Devontae Smith or Henry here. And then, so just going Drake May, and it would have been nice to get Diggs there, right? So you'd have all 4 of the top plays, but it's fine. Like that also makes these fun because you're going to get different builds, and that different build might actually help you in the next round, and you win your pod by a point because you didn't take Diggs, So I'm never crying wolf on it. I'm never mad at these things. If you want to take my guys, that's fine. Like I'll find a way around it. But I really like, the Drake May, Henderson, Stevenson, and then you have 7 roster spots now to build out your receivers. And I really like this in the gauntlet even more because you can almost secure your flex to hit like 15, 20 points, and that gives you a huge boost. But you do need the QB and the running back to go, one of the running backs to go off. But you see it in the NFL all the time. It's always a running back and quarterback stacked together this year. I feel like this year even more. I feel like when I go back to regular best ball this next year, I'm gonna actually focus a lot on QB running back stacks a lot more.
Yeah, it's interesting because as kind of a part-time, certainly not full-time gig, but I write content for DFS, and one of the things that I think is such a big misnomer is that negative correlation between a quarterback and his running back. Um, so to me, generally, I want to bet on teams and offenses smashing.
Yeah,
To me, this is probably Hunter Henry, and I'm probably taking Dallas Goedert here.
those are the two people I was gonna say. Like yeah, that's how I do it. Then you got a nice 4 core of Patriots here, and then you got 2 Eagles. I know that's going to be popular though, like a Smith Goddard. Like you don't have AJ, you don't have Barkley if you made the Super Bowl, so that puts you a little bit down. So that's where I'd come back with like a Packers here, or like you like the Bills, and I'd try to hit double on one of those. Or if you want to do 1-1, I'd be fine with that too.
Yeah, I generally like to have like a loose plan. So yeah, I mean, I certainly don't mind building Bears. I don't mind building Packers here, but I also try to keep like I don't want to say, hey, I'm definitely taking Luther Burden here,
Right?
If that's what I like to kind of see what the board presents. And I think when we go ahead,
you don't have to go with the 2 running back only too. Like if you want to throw a Charbonnet in there too, that makes sense too, because you're not getting that first round, but you're still got whatever Patriots running back scores, you're getting the points,
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to go the Seattle route, I get that.
Yeah, I feel like this is a build where if Charbonnet is there, I would consider Charbonnet. Just because I don't have a very strong NFC piece right now. Like it's Devontae and Dallas Goedert, and I feel like if we get a New England Philly Super Bowl, there will be stronger teams with that combination that will have gotten Diggs, and what maybe they took AJ Brown on a build like this, or they started Barkley May, and we're I feel like as a cumulative total are a stronger team than this. So back us here. My initial inclination is to go Charbonnet Booty. I feel like I'm kind of in on New England at this point. The only one we don't have is Diggs. So yeah. I kind of feel like that's the route I want to go.
Yep. No, I like it. That's how I play it.
And I'm not shy. To me, I like to consider Kyle Williams or Pop Douglas potentially if I really want to lean into New England. I don't know that I need to do that here, but again, I would keep him queued up in case I decide to go that route. Is this a build where you again thinking that you would want to take one-offs? Where does your mind go for our 9th, 10th turn here?
I like DJ Moore, Jaden Reed. Those are the names I see there. Also think Troy Franklin is kind of a sneaky way to do it. Like I'm trying to actually do players from the same conference a little bit more, like because those 1 of 10s in the next round are really tough. Like people don't understand like how hard those are, and you almost need like 8-9 players in round 2 that are live, and then in round 3, like if you can have, I don't know, 6 to 8 players there, like it gives you a huge advantage. Like you're almost advancing before, like you, because there's going to be a lot of dead rosters there, and it gives you a huge chance, especially if you have opposite. Like everyone's got these combos where they would have New England but no Denver. If they meet in the AFC Championship and you have one Denver, that could catapult you. Like I think to me that's better than Douglas and Williams. Like I don't think I draft them on this team. But I really like. But also if you want to do DJ Moore and Jaden Reed, I like that. That guarantees you one guy, and it's going to help you in this round get out.
Yeah.
If you want to go to Seattle too, that's fine. If you want to go to Seattle here.
I don't want to go to Seattle. I definitely want to I'm going to take Reed. I feel like wide receiver is a little weak on this team. Just with, I'm banking on basically getting one score out of the Philly wide receiver or Goddard. And then, Henry and Boutte are kind of, I don't want to say more tertiary pieces for New England. Like, I'm not guaranteed to get a score there. So I want to take at least Reed. You prefer Franklin or Moore in this situation?
I like Franklin because I think it's a little bit of leverage.
Nice. Rob says good stuff. Rob, thanks for tuning in and following along with us.
And I also think guys like Boutte and Franklin and like those guys are like spike week guys too. So if you can take 2 or 3 of those kind of guys and they can pop off for like a 50-yard touchdown, like that might be what you need as well. I'm not even saying round 1. I'm more saying round 2 and 3.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I like that. Well, if you've got your phone and you want to draft along with us, we can or you can share screens. I think it's probably easier if you want to just go on your phone.
Yeah, I'll just do it on my phone. You want to do a minute and 3?
Yeah. Does that work for you?
Yeah. Tell me when you want to go.
I've got we've done the only 2 I've done in it. I've got 148 minute and 3s to go. So
okay.
I'm hovering, so you just say when and I'll click enter.
Okay, let's go.
3 of 6, 4 of 6. Hopefully it's the same room.
No. If not, I can jump in another one.
I'm looking for the Eagles.
Well, mine didn't fill, so I don't think we got in the same room.
No, we didn't get in the same room. I think that, it's one of the things I think is potentially I think why people prefer, Underdog a little bit to DraftKings for this is just it's a little bit harder to collude in these rooms with how quick they fill versus DraftKings. Like, obviously you've seen, I'm sure, those tweets, today about the collusion and potential scandals and such.
Yeah, I don't even know what that was all about, so I didn't really look into it too much. I feel like playoff best ball, it's kind of pretty obvious when it happens.
You should see some of these drafts. Like there are like rooms with like the same 3 or 4 people in them, and two of the teams will take like 5 tight ends and 5 quarterbacks, and so the other teams in the room are just building these mega teams, and it's just like, this is so obviously collusion. Like, what are we even doing here?
Well, yeah, but here's the thing: like, even if you could pick 5 picks in a row, it doesn't guarantee you could take all 5 guys here at the top of the ADP, and it's not going to make you have a better team than the next guy, in my opinion. Like, I think it's more about, I mean, maybe it helps you advance, but like, I don't think it helps you win a contest like this.
It's I kind of agree with you. I think that if you're trying to beat the system like that, you've got to be trying to stack teams that you aren't really, that you aren't able to get. So maybe you go Puka Nacua with Josh Allen and James Cook and full Rams. Like,
right, that's the
only real advantage. It's not an advantage to take a team with Puka, CMC, Allen, Barkley. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, that's going to help you advance out of the first round, but like, that team is not winning the contest.
Yeah. Yeah, I got the 101 on mine as well, so I went Puka.
Same, but you may get the Ram stack. Adams and Kyron are gone for me already.
Yeah, I don't.
Mike says tried to hop in with us, didn't get in. Are you in with Eagles? You in with Eagles, Mike?
He might be.
He might be. I don't know his handle. J. Joe says, "What's up, fellas?" Adrian says, "Was in a draft early and 2 people took round 10 players in the 3rd round." Maybe that's collusion. Maybe that's just people wanting to get their guys.
I mean, people would probably think sometimes I'm in rooms like, hey, why is this guy taking Josh Palmer in the 4th, 5th round here? Like, if I build out a Bills team, I might take 8 straight Bills. Like, you don't know. And like, I know there's a lot of hate it right now. Like, if you're Josh Allen drafter. Like, oh, there's no one to pair him with, only James Cook. It's like, to me, I actually don't really agree with that. Like, I feel like if you can get a Bills team all the way to Super Bowl and you have like four of those receivers that nobody really wants, and one of them hits, like, you're gonna win a lot more money than the guy that only has like a Dawson Knox, you know. But if you take all 4 or 5 of them, like, I don't know, there's a lot more strategy than people are letting on. It's just not cut and dry, the playoff best ball. So there's so many different angles and so many different ways to do it. And you kind of mentioned too, like the tools. Like, I don't think you like the tools just like I don't like the tools, because it limits you. Like, you have to use your mind in these. You have to think differently. You have to build out different teams, not the same team every time. Like, you might as well just auto draft all those teams, and you're gonna get the same ones. But it's based on what they like. It's based on whoever's building that tool and whatever rankings are in there. So it doesn't really give you an advantage. It actually, like I saw in the regular season best ball stuff, it actually gave you a really big disadvantage, because they put you on plays and different, I don't know, playoff, like the week 16, 17 stuff that actually was really, really bad. So, like, I don't know. You just have to think for yourself on some of the stuff.
Yeah, we're aligned on the thinking for yourself aspect of it. I don't disagree with it putting you on, plays or what they've run through their simulations. Like, it's just not for me.
Yeah.
I think there's enough edge in this game where I think that if we had stopped and evaluated rosters on the drafts that we did, the first 2 drafts that we kind of, I don't want to say did together, but just on the stream today, like, there is almost always at least one of 6 teams that's dead, that like can't get 5 people to the finals, or just drafts Sam Darnold and doesn't take a second quarterback and can't get out of the first round.
Yeah, and I listen to like everything out there about playoff best ball. Like, anybody puts a stream out there, I love listening to it, because I love getting ideas and love hearing what people are thinking and how people are drafting. But I mainly use that stuff to kind of help my own game. So I'm not like copycatting anything out there. So I'm just like forming my own kind of ideas of how I want to approach it. If that makes sense. I don't know. But like, I actually watch a lot of the stuff, and I'm not going to name a person, but it's always like, I'm going to override it. Like, every 50% of the time they're overriding it. It's like, why are you using it? Like, I don't understand.
It's because they know better. IKB.
Yeah. So you're listening to the same stuff. There you go.
I try to take in a good bit of content, whether it's in the car, going to hockey, or on the way to work, or, just any of that. I feel like I can only listen to so much radio, and so I don't mind listening to the playoff best ball. And, it's crazy to me. Like, I think we were talking earlier, like, I did a bigger mitten today, and this is a high dollar contest, and the guy directly to my right, the 2-hole, I drafted 101 in that. The 2-hole one couldn't get out of the first round. Like, they drafted 6 bye players. Like, this is people spending hundreds of dollars on an entry, and they literally cannot advance out of the first round. Like, I don't know that you need the tools. Like, you just need to pay attention.
Yeah.
So let's see. Generally, when I do these streams, I'm doing them by myself. So I'm kind of talking through the other teams in the draft, like what they're doing, where we think that they're going to go. To me, that's I think that's where you and I differ a little bit, is that I like to kind of, I don't want to say have like my full attention.
Gotcha. So yeah, I'm the opposite. Like, I hate seeing other people's drafts. Like, I could care less. I don't care who you take. Like, I want you to take my guys, because then it makes me adjust. Like, I have to always be so I never get mad.
You got to be nimble. Yeah, you got to be nimble. Yeah, I mean, to me, I like to look at it to see, do I think, I think it's much more advantageous if you're like in the 2-hole or the 5-hole, to kind of see, okay, hey, like, if we're talking DraftKings. Like, the 6 holes already got 2 tight ends, so like I could probably take a different player here and push the tight end. You know what I mean? Like, where if you're not paying attention to that, you're just kind of taking, who you need. And sometimes that bites you in the butt, but generally, if you're paying attention, I feel like you gain a little bit of those additional edges.
Yeah. No, I get it. Like if I was doing one at a time and I wanted to like micro focus and stuff, like I'm sure there's some little edges there I'm missing out on. But I've been playing this a long time, the best ball game, and especially Underdog. And I know people hate to hear it, but it really is. There's just so much luck and like pod luck. And it's not even the first round; it's more like the later rounds. So it's just about keep advancing teams into the next round. You just want to give yourself as many shots as possible. That's why I've focused a lot on like the volume, and that's why I play a lot of the low dollar stuff. Because it really is like you can be very skilled at it, but you have to. We've been playing basketball for years, right? And we do know that there's a lot of luck there. Like, yeah, you see a guy win $2 million and like, oh, I had a team that would have beat that team by 20 points in the finals. Like, you hear those stories all year long. So.
Yeah, I think you and I are aligned on that. I think one of the advice that I would give to someone who is maybe doing playoff best ball for the first time this year is, take a look at what you feel like is a comfortable bankroll for you. Doesn't really matter what that number is. Let's just say that it's $100. Like, my advice would be to fire up as many in the $3 little mittens as you can get. It's a 20 max contest, so get 20 of those, and maybe it's the $3 on DraftKings, or maybe it's the little mitten 2 on Underdog now. Like, to me, I would rather draft 33 $3 teams versus one $100 team or 4 $25 gauntlet teams. Like, to me, this is really a numbers game. You need shots on goal. Because there'll be plenty of times where, and I can't speak for you, but I'm kind of speaking for you, where you and I are both sharp drafters, where you'll be in a room and and that roster will just be dead. Like, you try to pivot, but just in the grand scheme, it's just not likely to be able to win. So, and that happened. I think it's just good for people to know that happens to everyone. It's not just, you one time. Like, it just happens. It's just how the room falls. Where am I going to go here? I think we're going to take 2.
It's fun to watch your draft, because my draft's totally different, like, because I think you're on different teams than I'm on a little bit, and I have different. See, I can tell you're on the Jags, you're on the Bears, and where I'm actually on the opposite. Like, I like the Bills, like they're my favorite team in the whole contest, and then I'm really on the Packers a lot too. But I really feel like those games, the point spreads are super close on them, and those games could decide like a lot. If you can guess those 2 games right, and I'm saying, like, maybe you draft 15% on the Bears and 10% on the Packers, and that's fine. But if you're like 20% on the Bears and only 5% on the Packers, that just feels wrong in my. But I think I'm doing it wrong the other way, where I probably should have more Bears. So I probably should have more Jags. So
yeah. So I track. I don't track all of my like mittens, but all of my gauntlets. A lot of the mittens I track as well. Not just like exposures, but like Super Bowl matchups. Like, okay, I know I've got 25 Rams, Patriots, and 27 Rams, Jaguar. You know what I mean? And so I know from looking at my exposures that I am low on Chicago. Like, I've historically taken more Packers. So again, I feel like there's different mindsets here of, like, for me, just as someone, in my other job, like I used to be an actuary. So I'm kind of risk averse. I like to evaluate risk, and I look at it and say, I don't really have a strong take between Chicago and Green Bay. Like the point spread, I think is, I mean, I don't even know, to be honest, but I think it's like, is it a field goal? It's like,
It's 1.5 for the Packers.
Yeah. So basically, Vegas is telling us it's kind of a toss up. Like, I don't know that I have a strong opinion where I think it's, 4-1 more likely that Green Bay wins, but my exposure is saying that I think that it's more likely 4-1 that Green Bay wins. So to me, I'm just trying to diversify a little bit more, which is why right now I'm taking a little bit more Chicago.
Yeah, that makes sense. And I feel like, I could be crushed because my highest exposures right now are like the Bills. I just kind of made a stand on Josh Allen. It's like, I don't know. I feel like he's the best player, maybe Puka, you could say, but then it's Josh Allen. And I'm going to bet on that. And the fun part about that is like, you can get him like 1.2, 1.3, 1.4, 1.5 sometimes. So you can really juice up your exposure to him. And I'm going to look at my exposures right now. So
I'm kind of doing the same on my phone.
I've drafted like over 400 teams on Underdog right now. And like Josh Allen is my top rostered player at 41%. And maybe 41%. Like I'm more of a 25 as my high, 20 to 25 in there. Like that's where I like to be at my highest. But I don't know, 40%, I don't feel like that's too bad. Like I like it. And then like I said on like James Cook, I'm at 14%. So most of that 14% is with Josh Allen. So basically every 3 drafts that I take Josh Allen, every 3rd draft I'm getting a James Cook. So it is a little bit like maybe I'm wasting money, keep going after the Allen and Cook combo, but to me, it just feels like such a good bet right now, especially like how we talked about, we listened to all this content and everybody else I listen to is non Josh Allen. They're just like,
except for Liam, except for Chesley,
except for Liam. And but that's just how he is. Right. But I don't blame him. I'm the same way at the Eagles. Like the Eagles are probably my next highest team. So yeah, there's some homerism there, but if people are wrong on, and I know, like, I just hear people say, it's like, oh, I just really want the Jags to win that because they know, like, if the Jags don't win that first game, like, Allen could go on a run. Like, he's going to go into Denver. Like, the Bills are going to be a favorite in that game if they get to that. And then say the Patriots win, the Bills will be a favorite in that game. Like, it's just, yeah, sure, he doesn't have receivers to throw to, but Shakir, he's not a bad receiver. And Kincaid, if he's healthy, like he could get a touchdown every game. So like, I think people are just throwing the Bills like too far shade right now. So that's my hard take right now is like, I get the Jags win. Yeah. Their prices are better, but again, I don't care about prices in the playoff best ball. So I don't care. Like, oh yeah, if you get Josh Allen around 1, but I can get Trevor Lawrence in round 4. It's like, who cares? Like, it doesn't matter. Like, you might as well take Trevor Lawrence round 1 with ETN at the 1-2 turn. Like, it doesn't matter what you're getting on the other side, in my opinion, as much. So, I don't know.
Yeah, no, you and I've drafted 368 teams on Underdog, so you're ahead of me. My highest exposures are, sad to report, they're all Patriots.
No,
1,
that's
2, 3, 4, 5. My top 5 exposures are all Patriots.
Well, my top exposures are, I got Allen, Kincaid, Shakir, Devontae Smith, Goddard, Jaden Reed, Kyron Williams, Ramondre. Like, I am like Patriots. I actually tried to make a point to draft more Patriots, so I bumped Drake May up to like that 5th overall in my rankings. And I just think he's a smash at the turn.
Yeah, dude, we're aligned. Let me see. East of Eden stopping by said, "Are you ever drafting a second quarterback with Josh Allen?" For me, generally no.
No, I'm never drafting second quarterback. Only if I'm taking Denver and Seattle. That's the only time, and I'm rarely building those ones. And that's the whole reason you draft Josh Allen in the first round. He is the highest projected QB on every slate. and you only have to take one QB, and it kind of is a cheat code because you can take an extra running back or an extra receiver, and that's where your fantasy points are coming. QB is like every QB kind of scores the same. It's like quarterbacks don't really matter as much as people think they do. Same as tight ends. Unless you're Trey McBride, like, does it really matter what tight end you drafted? It doesn't.
One of the things, so again, I referenced a strategy article that I write every year around playoff best ball. Like, one of the things that I called out for like DraftKings specific was how you have to have that tight end spot. But then if you go and you look, like 7 out of the top 8 scorers for like PPR scoring at tight end are missing the playoffs.
Yeah.
So how many tight ends do you really have that could give you separator scores? And your best tight end in terms of like real ceiling, I think, is a dog to get out of the first round. Like, I don't know that I think that Kittle advances. Like, I think Kittle is out in the first round. So
I think there's somebody better. I take Goddard, I take Henry over Kittle right now. I'm taking Kincaid over Kittle, and maybe that's crazy. I think on DraftKings drafters, actually, if you go Josh Allen too, another code is just only draft Kincaid and Knox. You get both tight ends, and you don't have to worry about any other tight end. Like, you're playing for the Super Bowl when you take Josh Allen. Like, you're going all the way with the Bills. Like, if you want to do that with other teams too, I don't know if there's any other team really with 2 tight ends. Maybe Chicago, Kmet and Loveland. That's not a bad way to go. I don't know. So.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree. This is a funny comment. Liam has the Bills hosting the AFC Championships versus the Chargers. It's funny because it's not entirely inaccurate.
Yeah, no, I think actually, if you're drafting Bills and you want AFC, the Chargers are a good team to go with them.
Yeah, I don't mind that shout. Go Collect says, are we wrapping it up, or you want to rip one more? James, I think that you've got another stream I think you're planning on doing tonight. So do you want to do one more, or you want to call it a day? Your call.
Oh man, I gotta draft these anyway, so I can do another one. I don't know if I'll get in with you again, but
all right. Well, fellas, sure. You heard it here. We're gonna try one more in the Mitten 3. So if you want to try to get in with us, we'll
here, what I'm gonna do, I'm going to enter like 3 at one time. So I'm just going to enter 3. Just give me a minute.
Oh, I'm not ready for you yet.
Yeah, I haven't.
You're right. I do think this is so much easier to draft on the phone. You can't stream that way. But
okay, I'm hitting confirm right now. I'm in the next 4.
Okay. Mitten 3. All right, I'm in.
Yeah, we'll get one together at least.
Do you feel like you have to ignore the rest of your drafts just to participate along with me?
No,
there you are, 101.
Are we in the same one?
We are. You got the 101 in that. How fun is that?
Oh, nice. Okay, well, I'm going to top out the other ones then. Let's see if. All right. It only got me in 2, so I got all the other 2, so I can focus a little more.
Well, hey, at least you know the 3 hole's not going to take too many of your Rams. So.
No, I mean, I just talked up Josh Allen. Maybe I'll give Preston a freebie here.
Yeah, I mean, maybe he'll go CMC and Puka will fall to the 3. How fun would that be for me? Yeah, I do feel like Go Collect says I'm with James in the other one.
At least we can draft together.
Go Collect, you are like nothing but 10s, right? Is that accurate? Mike says, didn't realize James was Eagles. Yeah, that's him. He's in the rooms more than me, and I feel like I'm in the rooms all the time. So
yeah, no. I used to work from home, so I was able to like draft a lot while I was working. I do accounting, so I could do a lot of my work. It's like with having a draft going on the side and like no issues. But yeah, I don't really have my phone out at work anymore, so it makes it a little more challenging to get volume in.
Yeah, I am fortunate to get to work remote. Kind of the hybrid role part of the week. So
yeah.
on the days that I am working from home, there's definitely more drafts that happen than the days that I'm in the office.
Yeah, no, like my lunch breaks, I'll take an hour lunch and I'll try to draft about 25 drafts on my lunch break. And I've been the last week, like this is time. You have to like make sacrifices, right? So I've been trying to wake up like 5, 6 in the morning before the kids get up and stuff and the dog. And I'll try to draft like 40, 50 drafts before my day gets going and before I go to work. So that's kind of how I've been doing it. So it's a lot of, it is sacrifice, but the window is pretty short here. So
yeah, one of the things that about playoff best ball that I really like is that you're not tying up your money for 6 months. Whereas with playoff best ball, like maybe it's not quite 6 months, but I mean, for some teams it's longer. So in a spot like this, do you ever take Devonta Smith and try to push Jalen Hurts here?
No, I take Hurts. If you don't get Hurts, you kind of mess yourself up.
I think the times that I've done it is maybe if I'm in the 4 hole here and 5 and 6 started Allen May, where I feel like it's really unlikely that they're going to take a second quarterback in the first 4 rounds. But generally that's sacrifice is short term, glory lasts forever. Yeah, that's accurate. I mean, I feel like I'm in drafts with you, James, late at night for me, where it's probably still, midnight or so for you, but it's, 2-3 o'clock in the morning for me. And it's just like, I feel like I'm in drafts sometimes at those hours and people are just really making some interesting draft decisions, we'll say.
Well, no, I actually back on the Jalen Hurts too. Like, honestly, I think he probably should be right there with Drake May. Like, I know people don't like, and even Stafford, like they all should be like 5, 6, 7. Like I almost think Hurts should be ahead of AJ Brown, but you don't have to draft that way. So that's the nice part about it.
When you were talking Bills, like to me, Kincaid should be ahead of Shakir personally, whether the tight end is required or not. I just think the spike week potential is so much stronger for him.
Yeah, Kincaid, well, that's the thing. You can get both. You can get both of them pretty easy by like the 4 or 5 rounds. Like if you don't want to push them, and I don't tend to push them. Like if I start with a core, like I want to get that core. Like there's no sense risking it in 1 round. Just get it, and hope your other guys that you want fall. So
you got to see a rare Cortland Sutton draft on my part here. I know you would have taken Goddard.
Yeah, the reason I would with the Eagles too is because they only have those pieces. That's all they have. Like they have those 5 pieces, and if you don't get anything, like, do you want to tank Bigsby? Probably not. Dotson, like no. Like, so if you miss on Goddard on your Eagles stacks, you're just kind of there's nothing else. So if you miss it, it's over. But if you missed on Sutton, you can get Franklin. If you miss on Myers, you can get Brian Thomas, or you can Parker Washington or Strange. So that's kind of.
Yeah, no, I don't think you're wrong there. Definitely a little bit weaker to go Sutton over Goddard. Wanted to take a shot. I feel like I build so many teams that potentially are similar that sometimes I just try to mix it up in what is potentially suboptimal, just to try not to have so many similar teams.
I think that's smart. I feel like I'm always drafting very similar teams. So sometimes I'll get bored and then I'll change my rankings quite a bit, just so then it forces me on things. I notice you don't really use rankings. Is that why don't you use rankings?
I feel like I use rankings occasionally. When I stream, I like to just go off ADP. Okay. I feel like that makes it easier for. We'll say it makes it easier for the viewers. It's really more that I just don't want to put my rankings out there.
I'm fine to share. If anyone wants my rankings, send me a DM and I'll try to get them to you. But right now I don't have a CSV because I'll draft like 10 drafts and then I'll adjust like 4 or 5 guys and I'll draft another 10, adjust 4 or 5 more guys. So like right now it's just like get as many drafts in as you can. Like the last few weeks I could adjust rankings more and share them easier.
Yeah, I don't know that my my rankings are anything to write home about, but I'm gonna go level one here.
It's more or less for me just not drafting bad players. Like I just don't want to like auto draft a Ricky Pearsall, like he's not even on my draft board anymore. Like I don't like there's certain guys like that I just don't want to be tempted with.
I mean, I know why that they do it, but like Underdog really should pull Derrick Henry, Zay Flowers, Lamar Jackson, like to make their ADP be like 55 or 60. Like, you know what I mean? Like, don't let somebody time out and take Derrick Henry because his ADP is 33. That's my opinion.
Yeah, that was a bad 2 picks by me. I've been used to drafting the gauntlet today. So I've been drafting actually a lot of like the Carolina and Pittsburgh pieces at the end.
Mm-hmm. I don't know that I've taken 2 Carolina pieces on a build before.
Especially when you take Rams.
Yeah, but you're looking to advance a New England LA team.
No, that was a bad. Well, yeah, and I don't have anything really here to even.
Yeah, it's interesting because you and I are both pretty against the second quarterback. I feel like your build here is
that's a pretty bad build.
Yeah, just because Carolina's playing the Rams first round, and so you're going to lose.
It should have. I mean, Steelers would have been better there. I was drafting the other team I'm drafting. The other team I'm drafting was Bills, so I was like back and forth on opposite conferences.
Buddy, that's part of the reason why I don't do 2 at the same time.
No, well, then we were talking too.
Yeah.
Well,
James, I appreciate you hopping on with us today. It was fun to chop it up with you. Why don't you got a shout out of anywhere else people can find you over on Twitter, anywhere else you want to shout yourself out, any handles or anything like that for folks to follow?
No, this past year's just been crazy busy, so I've kind of just kept it to Twitter, just with work. And then we have 4 kids, 2 kids in travel hockey, and my daughter went off to college, so it's just been really busy. So yeah, like I am at Football Guys, so I do like some weekly stuff there in the summer, just from ADP kind of values and things like that. But yeah, we're doing our Football Guys retreat this weekend, so we'll all be in Vegas watching all the games. So looking forward to that. But yeah, so I'll try to throw out a few other things on Twitter that I'm thinking and help people out. So yeah, just follow me on Twitter.
Awesome. Well, guys, thanks for tuning in. If you haven't already, smash that like button on your way out. And if you are watching on the StatATL YouTube channel, please subscribe. It's a new little venture for me, trying to do some best ball content here on my own. So appreciate you tuning in, and thanks again to James for joining us today. We'll probably stream again on Thursday, and hoping you guys can join us. Till next time, guys.